Hello, I'm the Watch Golem. Good morning. So bringing you videos about watches, clocks and horology in general. So today, customer voice watch check. I'm still wearing my Tag Heuer 2000 automatic. Love this watch. Just slightly readjusted the strap because it's going a bit loose on me, so I either lost a bit of weight or it's expanded, I don't know. And on my right wrist I'm wearing nothing, so skin o'clock on that one today. Right, so if I said to you, SKX, what comes to your mind? Oh yes, a 007 or a 009. A beautiful piece of Seiko wizardry where the total is greater than the sum of its parts. However, there are a lot more SKXs out there. The moniker was used in absolutely hundreds and hundreds of other watches that carried that from Seiko. If you go over to the Seiko guy, he has a list of every single watch that carried the first three letters SKX on it. So there are SKX 031s and 033s, which are the slightly smaller version of these. Beautiful watches, actually in higher demand than the 007s, 009s. And then you've got all, of course, the monsters, all beginning with the 7, so the 700 series. And so on. But there is another SKX which seems to go a little bit under the radar, a bit unloved. And it is this one. It is an SKX013. There was also an SKX, I think it's a 33. Oh, hold on, no, it's the other way around. But there is a black dial version of this. And it is an SKX. But you also might recognise it more as it looks a little bit like a Rolex Submariner. That's because the case is almost a direct copy of a Rolex Submariner. So you kind of see where Seiko's going. And this is actually very popular in the modding community because there are plenty of sites out there that take these and mod these to look like Rolex Submariners. It carries the same 7S26A movement, so automatic winding only, no hand winding, no hacking. It's got day date. And I think it's really quite nice. It's small, it's light. Now this comes on its original oyster style bracelet, but the bracelet sadly is folded link, which affects, obviously, makes it feel a bit cheaper. And the clasp isn't anywhere, it's just a clip-on clasp, though it is signed. But it does suit the watch. But this has one thing that the modern usurpers that claim to be SKXs that Seiko now put under the 5, it has one thing that they don't have: a screw down crown. Oh yes, it has a screw down crown, even though it's only 100 meters water resistant. Shows the 10 bar water resistant, but yeah, screw down crown, which I think is brilliant. The bezel is bidirectional, so it turns in either way. Gosh, this one's stiff, I haven't moved it for a while. There we go. No luminous pip at the top. And it's a little bit more dressy. You can see there are chrome bits around the battens and around the date window. Very similar hands. I actually compared this to my 007. I don't know about you guys, but I actually couldn't see any difference with the hands. I really couldn't. That's the hour-minute hand. Obviously, the seconds hand is very different, but I do like the white second hand. It's got the luminous bit at the top, whereas the SKX has that bit more balance with the luminous bit at the back. And it also has quite a nice case back. It's got the Seiko Wave, which they put on for the 100 meter water resistant watches. And that's a bit. Oh, let's try and do it this side. There you go. Of course, it's nowhere near as good as the 007s, but I'm not going to split hairs. And Seiko have a 5 version of this now. As usual, they've stopped doing it, and of course the 5 version, the crown is no longer screw down. So they've cheapened it. They've made it into a sort of street sports watch, which, yeah, I mean, I don't really agree with that marketing, but hey, that's me. So let's look at some of the dimensions on this. So width, it is, bob on 40 by the looks of it. Let's do lug to lug. I can get that in there. What's that? 47, just over 47 maybe. Oh no, very hard doing this one-handed. I've got 45.5. Let's do, I think it's the same at 22. It is a 22. Hold on, I'll get this in there. Yeah, 22 lug width, and thickness we have got just under 12. So yeah, it's actually quite a nice watch. It wears well. Let's just stick it on. Might as well put this on my right wrist. There she goes. Yep. Now if I put the oyster bracelet that I have on this 007, which is the solid link oyster, it transforms this watch into something that just feels and looks superb. There was, as usual, Seiko did a reduced version. There is the SKX023 and 025, which are reduced versions of the Pepsi and the Black Dial version, and they're out there. They're quite hard. I've never seen one. I've never owned one. There are pictures of them out there. As I say, if you go to the SeikoGuy.com and look at /Seiko-SKX, there's a whole list of the SKX items there. Very, very interesting. He doesn't have pictures of all of them, but you will be amazed at how many carried the SKX moniker. So let's get it on the TimeGrapher, see how she's performing. I'll just zoom in. So being a 7S268, it's all standard 53 degrees. Let's get it in there properly. Now this one was bought, again a non-runner, and what had happened is somebody I think had gone to adjust it, and they took the case back off, and they didn't put the case back on properly. The seal came out the way, moisture got in, and the seal had stopped the balance from working. And what you can't see on this, I'll show you in a minute, is the whole dial and the hands were all covered in what I can only describe as a fungus. Now, I don't know how much wind's in this. It might be close to full wind, so it obviously could do with a service at some point, but it's not doing too badly. You know, most people think over 200 amplitude's good on a 7S26, but you've got plus 13 seconds a day. Let's see what positional error is like. So let's put it in the 12 o'clock up position and give it a moment. Beat error on the dial up was very good. I've of course played with it. So let's see. Again, amplitude just dropped. And she's going to minus probably about 3 or 4 seconds, minus 7 seconds. Okay, let's go to crown up. So I know you can't see this, but it affects the yeah, I'll pull back a bit. There you go, crown up. Focus on that. Crown up's okay. Keeping pretty good time in that position. We got plus 11. Let's do crown left. Okay, beat errors changed a little. Well, that's not bad. Okay, 0.3 is still very respectable. I'm just going to do crown down now. Hold up. However, on the wrist, this watch gains probably about 6 seconds a day overall. So this is the thing with all this positional error, is that depending upon which wrist you wear your watch will affect its timekeeping. So it's always good to know. So I think it could do with a little bit of a wind. Let's just put it back in the dial up position. Give the TimeGrapher a moment to sort itself out. And go amplitude's gone back up a bit. Beta is pretty good, so it was earlier it was 0, but 0.1 is there's nothing wrong with that at all. And yeah, 12 seconds a day in that position, so it's good. So the different positions I can leave it in overnight. And as a comparison, let me just focus again. I think they're both fantastic looking watches. Being a lot slimmer, it fits a lot better under cuffs and sleeves, and I have no problems taking a 100-meter water resistant watch, especially with a screw down crown, into the water. Absolutely none whatsoever, as this one has been multiple times. Now, as I said, moisture had got in, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this. You might notice the battens and the hour hands have got a sort of, on the loom, they're not the greatest. That's because of the grunge that are formed in it. I managed to remove it with a little cotton bud and a bit of water, and it's never come back. So that's probably looking at 12 years it's never come back. But there we have it. These are, of course, going up in value. They're about similar to the 007s to get them from, to purchase. But get out there, check them out. They're great watches, and I'm very proud to own this one. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.